Welcome once again to How to Relate to Anyone. Here is Dr. Orv Owens.
Well, hello again, and we welcome you back. This week, we're going to be talking about authority by achievement. What you can achieve and what kind of recognition you get for that achievement is vitally important in any personal growth and personal development, but also being a productive person as a part of your company, part of your family life, every area of your life. Achieving is important. And one of the things that's really most important about achieving is the pleasure and the joy that comes with accomplishments. You know, you do something and you take something, make something from nothing, and you feel really good about that. It kind of elevates you a bit. It makes you feel like, you know, I'm doing okay here. So we want to look at that. Achievement brings awards, and achievement also brings authority. Because you have achieved in this area of your life, we start looking to you as the answer to getting us to that point in our life, whatever that is. Whether it's learning a whole new concept, learning a new tool that we have to work with, learning how to better communicate with other people, whatever. Any learning experience, we look to people of authority to lead us into success. I played golf this past day, a couple of days ago. And I have a guy that's pushing 90. He's just about 90, but he's a golfer. I mean, when he hits that ball, it goes out of sight. And you know, he's just a scratch golfer. And I'm a duffer. I play golf a couple times a year, maybe 3 times, and that's enough to know that I'm not very good at it. But he's my coach. And by the time we go from the first hole to the 9th hole, because that's all we play is 9 holes, he's got me putting really good and getting the ball up in the air and out there. Problem is, I need to get him to do that before we start the first hole. And you might find yourself in that same situation where there are people who have influence and impact on your life because they know what you don't know. We give them that authority to coach us, to lead us into a higher level of productivity. So achievement, a person who has a track record, a person who has done it, a person who has been successful in that area, is the kind of person I want to associate with and follow their lead. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to do what they say to do because they know. Well, this authority by recognition comes by doing something that's creative. In many cases, it'll be a new invention. We have so many new inventions happening, things popping so fast in the electronics business and internet and all this stuff. And these people who are able to put together this, and this, and it turns out to be this, are millionaires. That's where it comes from. But in a little business on the street corner with 5 employees, a person on staff who comes up with a better way to sell widgets or to advertise and get response is super valuable to that company. So any type of achievement brings with it a certain amount of authority. So John has an idea and it sounds really good, so you're the manager and you say, John, step forward and tell the rest of the crew what your idea is, because I think it's valid and I think we can help us be more productive. So John steps forward and the boss steps back. And in that physical movement gives position, we call it position authority and authority by achievement. Position authority is recognition, but authority by achievement is, here's John's idea and it'll work for us. And so now he has authority to tell his story about his idea, And when he's done, he steps back and the boss steps forward again and says, "Thank you, John, that was great. Let's make that happen, guys." And now the boss is back in this authority position and John's back as one of the employees. It happens all the time, and the more we can recognize authority when it comes up, recognize achievement and give some authority with the achievement, the more job satisfaction that individual will have. We like to be appreciated. We like to know that we have made a contribution. And when somebody comes up with an idea that saves money, saves time, whatever, in your business, you need to give them recognition to the whole staff. Two things will happen. Number one, this person will feel really good about the acceptance and the appreciation, but the rest of the people are going to start stretching to get that spot also. If he can do it, I can do it. I've got an idea over here that might work. And all of a sudden you have creativity going in your organization, and that means a higher level of productivity. It's tremendous. Your personal growth and development, every person, is based upon taking a risk on an idea and making it come together. That's called personal development. Sitting back and saying, "I had that idea but didn't do anything with it," is a slap in your face, basically. You're saying, "I just didn't have the guts to step out there and say, how about this?" So what we want to do is anything you come up with, anything you have mastered, anything you have achieved will give you the recognition of achievement, and that authority by achievement means raises in pay in many cases, bonuses sometimes, special awards just for doing well. Benedict Engineering in Tallahassee, Florida gives recognition every week to people who have been creative. And that recognition comes in a little trophy, but also a little bonus. It's the way you encourage people to develop their own achievements and turn it into something that's highly productive for your organization. But you do it by giving them recognition, and the recognition is authority by achievement. Because you have achieved, we're going to give you authority to tell us how to achieve what you have achieved. And it can be a temporary thing, or it can be a large, monumental thing. The guy who worked for one of the toothpaste companies and went to the boss and said, "You know, our little hole in the toothpaste tube, if we increase that size to twice the size, we'll sell twice as much toothpaste." And he became a millionaire. I won't tell you the name of the company, but they did. You look at the tubes today, and the opening is twice as big as it used to be. Just an idea. So you and I use twice as much toothpaste as we probably need. And that means millions, maybe trillions of dollars worldwide when people are using that toothpaste. So, authority comes when you have achieved something. You have created something. You have become proficient in something. You are an illustration of how this can work or works. And with that comes authority. It can be intellectual. I think through something and this and so on. So it can be an intellectual achievement. It can be relationship achievements. People are promoted by their ability to relate to anybody, anywhere, anytime. And hopefully this program is going to help you to do exactly that and make you more productive in your relationships with your subordinates or with your clients. Vitally important. Sports awards people with big bucks because you can run faster, tackle better, block better, or whatever at football, hit the baseball further, hit a three-point shot pretty consistently, and you get paid big bucks for doing that. It's authority given in a dollar format, but also recognition, which ends up being endorsements, which pay millions of dollars to those athletes. I mean, once you start achieving something and can show it works, you now have recognition. We call it authority by achievement. Setting goals and achieving them brings recognition and authority, and you have to understand that with that, achieving goals, there's risk taking. The risk is it might fall flat, it might not work, might have a goal over my face. I thought it would work, but it didn't. Most inventors will tell you that there was a whole lot of attempts before they finally had success. You have to shake that off, go past it, and do what you think will work and work it until you get it working. And when it starts working, then you are now given authority to share that with the rest of the world and maybe make a lot of money. Risk of failure is the thing that holds most people back. What if I fail? What if I try and look bad? What if, people laugh at me? Well, they're going to laugh at you anyway, probably, so it doesn't really matter. I find there's always somebody who's going to laugh at anybody. So you don't want to wait until you have it proven before you use it. You got to use it and correct it and correct it and correct it until finally you get it right. You did that when you learned to walk. You did that when you learned to talk. Why not do it with some of your creative ideas that come to your mind? Because that creativity will give you recognition in dollars and cents, but also in position, also in knowing that you have helped people achieve their goals, whatever they are. Take a risk. If it fails, so what? Try again. Be like Thomas Edison, just don't quit. Just keep on keeping on. What holds people back is fear. Fear of looking bad, fear of embarrassment, fear of what if I make a fool of myself? Well, you got to make a fool of yourself once in a while if you're going to do anything. If you got out on the dance floor, you made. First time I ever sang a solo, I forgot my words. When I left, I said, I'm going to memorize my words so well that I will never forget them again. Instead of saying, I'm never going to sing again. I was 14 years old, so it's a lot of years ago. And I've been singing ever since. You have the creative abilities to be creative every day, and your creativity becomes achievements. And those achievements give you authority to function with those ideas and be paid for it and be appreciated for it. So my challenge to you is, got an idea? Go with it. If it fails, it fails. So what? At least you had the pleasure of trying. I find I make a lot of mistakes. I think I make more mistakes than anybody else in the world, actually. But I don't tell everybody my mistakes, but I know what they are, and so making corrections is what it's all about. You're going to make mistakes, no matter what you do. And if you take a chance of trying something new that no one else has ever tried, and you make a few mistakes, but you keep on keeping on, who knows? You might be the next millionaire on your city block. So what we want to do then is encourage you to understand that achievement brings with it the authority to use that achievement to help other people, because that's where the rewards come from, is when you're touching other people's lives by being an achiever. Companies are looking for achievers all the time. The guy that did the toothpaste thing was a laborer working on the production line, came up with the idea. If we make the hole twice as big, we're going to sell twice as much toothpaste. And now he's a millionaire for that idea. Because this is the way companies think. If you have one good idea, you're probably an idea guy. We better get you in a position where we can spin off some of your ideas, because they've made us billions of dollars. We don't mind paying you $1 million a year for your creativity. Joy comes from being creative. Your primary source of joy is when you have created something. It might be a painting, it might be a song you sang, it might be a poem you wrote, it might be helping a little old lady across the street. All of the above bring joy. And so if you're not a happy person, you don't have a lot of joy in your life, go create something. You'll be surprised how much you can do if you put your mind to it, because basically we are creative beings. Our problem is we use our creativity to create problems for ourselves. Not very good at that. I can make all kinds of excuses. Excuses are an act of creativity. You're creating something that hasn't happened yet. I don't think I'm very good at that. Well, how do you know? You haven't even tried. So use your creative abilities and creative nature to build rather than tear down. Build rather than try staying stable. Stable is boring. What's really exciting is trying and fail, try and fail, try and fail, try and get it right. Maybe on the 5th time. And the joy that comes with that also brings great rewards if it's something that helps other people, if it touches other lives. We pay people who create things that help us. So, be a productive person, and the way you are a productive person is by taking ideas that pop into your mind. And every one of you have creative ideas. Do you take those creative ideas and start working with them? Start doing something with it. Start with just writing down the creative idea, and then writing down some ways to get to that creativity. What is it going to take? Is it going to take money? Is it going to take equipment? Is it going to take merchandise? What is it going to take? I see people who do fancy hairdos and wear different kinds of jewelries, and that's all creativity. That's all creativity. See, you were created to be creative. I believe that. I believe God created you to be a creative person. And so if you're not creating, you're just not keeping God happy as far as you're concerned. Get him happy and get creative. Start producing something that's worthwhile, that can touch lives in a positive way. And it's amazing how much joy comes to you. I don't care how much money you make, although you care probably how much money you make. I don't care. But I do care. I am concerned. As an instructor, I am saying, I want you to stretch. Get out of your comfort zone and create something. Come on, you've had ideas. You know you have. Do something with it instead of sitting on it. My dad had a creative idea, and he talked about it a lot, and lo and behold, somebody else created his creativity, his creative idea. And he said, that guy stole that from me. Well, the guy didn't even know him. The guy just was creative and created the thing my dad had thought about creating. So Dad talked about creating, but never created. Don't talk about it. Do it. Don't sit on an idea. Move with it. Make something happen. And the worst thing that can happen is it fails the first time, or the second time, maybe the 10th time. For Thomas Edison, it was how many failures? Lot. So many failures, most people would have given up. He didn't give up and created the light bulb. So I challenge you, be creative, because in creativity, you achieve. And when you achieve, achievement brings with it authority of achievement. You are now the creator, and we look to you, give you recognition, give you dollars, give you time, give you all the things that you want out of life by you using the God-given creativity that's popped into your brain often, but you just sit on it. So once again, the important thing is do something with that which you have to do with.